All right, guys, welcome to the Man United agenda, and we have lost the Manchester derby. No surprises on my end. Is that a surprise to you, Dora? How you doing, girl?
I'm doing great. Thank you. Mr. B just messaged me. Oh, you need to go on now. Sorry for distraction. But yeah, I'm a bit deflated after this game, but overall I'm feeling great. And yeah, I'm excited to talk about this game, or not so much.
There's a lot to go through. First
Yeah.
of all, you can help me out here. Make sure you subscribe and like, and if you can do the share for me, point to the share.
I'm good.
Share.
I'm good.
Yes, that's right. Our trigger pressing buttons are off key at the moment. But yeah, what a game today. Wow, let's get into it. Let's hopefully people in the house. Anyone here in the house yet? Let's have a look. Not yet, but make sure you get your comments in. Let me know how you feel about this game today. The big Manchester derby. Yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. But first of all, Dora, let's talk about the team lineup. I mean, we discussed this in the pre-match game, didn't we? And how we were going to set up. But you ended up going with Lindelof in the back four, and Evans came in. Clearly, Maguire is not ready to come back in yet. And obviously, this is not how they kind of set up. With and without the ball, it would be slightly different. But it looked to me like Bruno was kind of playing as a false nine. What are your thoughts on this lineup today?
Well, I think it was expected with the way, we heard about, the team news and Maguire possibly being out being injured. I think that this was expected. But I think the attack was a surprise because, of course, we thought that Marcus Rashford is going to be a main number 9. However, I think even Ten Hag realized that he cannot play there. He's just spending most of the game isolated. So it was a surprise. It was a surprise seeing, Bruno as a false 9, and he put McTominay, there as a number 10, and Mino to be, how do you say it, Casemiro's partner in the midfield. So it was interesting. I think this is actually the first time this season that I actually saw something more creative from Ten Hag, because I think 90% of the games this season we saw, the same setup, right? 4 at the back, Casemiro as a 6, Mino as an 8, and Bruno as a 10, and so on and so on. So we kind of saw, the same, starting 11 all the time. But I thought that this was something creative, and but I mean, I think the attack was a huge surprise for me, most definitely.
Do you think this was based on the team we were playing, our opposition, setting up like this because of City keep the ball so well, not having an out-and-out striker with Bruno sort of as the outlet? Do you think that was based on respect for City?
I think that, and because I think Rashford is just invisible at the number 9. I don't think he is really good at the number 9, and I thought that you could clearly feel that Ten Hag is going to play with everyone behind the ball and try to catch City on the counter, because if he put the team on the sheet and said, we are going to play as every other week, I think we would get battered in the first half because we would be too open. And I think he saw that, Garnacho and Rashford still are on paper our best wingers, and we are going to try to, how do you say it? We are going to try to, widen the City defense and try to catch them on the counter, use their speed. I think Bruno did a really good job in the first half I think he's a better number 9 than Rashford, because he's better on the ball. He controls the ball better, and I think he's a better passer, than Rashford. And I think that worked. Yeah.
I must admit, like you, I think there was a good setup today. Not just saying it because of, we were quite successful in the first half. But first of all, you have to put a stop to City, because they will keep the ball. So rather than give them gaps and all that, make sure we deny them the space to play. And I think with this setup, with Bruno tucking in when we haven't got the ball, that will sort of give us an extra number in midfield. Because obviously they got John Stones going from back 4 to into midfield, giving them an extra number. And you have to kind of pick him up as well, even though he's not going to score a scorch from outside the box or have any danger like that. So I was really pleased with the setup, and I felt a couple of opportunities in the first half really proved justified his lineup today when we were sort of breaking with pace, for example. But I just want to say hi to everyone. Let me know what you think of the team, guys, with what we had available. I think it's the best we could do. So in the house, we've got Andrew. How you doing, Andrew Williams? Hope you're doing well, bro. He's saying here, no firm thoughts on this game. He couldn't pick much different. We were down to the bare bones, which is a great point, really, there. Big up to Bill Badger. How you doing? He says, good evening, big man, and Dora, and a thumbs up. Andrew was saying big up to Bill as well. I told you he was big. Big up to Ed Mayhem, all the way from Brummy, Birmingham. How you doing well? He said, even lads, if I see any excuses, I'm off. We're not here to make excuses. Ed, come on now. All right, so someone's had a late night. Andrew did. But he missed us 25 minutes of the second half, unfortunately. And we did our best, Andrew, but not too confident with Ten Hag going forward. All right, we'll talk about all of that. But let's get into the game because they started really well, didn't they, City? They had a lot of possession and they were just probing, trying to open us up. There was a penalty shout early on with Casemiro. He kind of pinched the ball away from one of their players in the box. And it did get looked at by VAR. I was a bit worried there, but he got away with it. And then Garnacho had a break down the right after 5 minutes. And he could have squared it for Rashford. I don't know if Rashford was shouting for it, but I thought that was a good opportunity. Do you remember that one? Early on, after 5 minutes, break, Aki sort of ran with him, and he tried, when he had a chance to square it, he tried to dribble on, and he got munched and eaten up and went out of play. But that was a sign of things to come, wasn't it? Because not long after that, the goal came. And let's talk about that goal, Dora. I mean, I've got some graphics, but let's talk about the goal. What are your feelings on that goal there? Because it just out of the blue.
Well, I thought, I think City, I think Onana caught the ball. I think he immediately looked up and he sent that ball to the attack. Bruno was there. He controlled the ball really well. He saw running Rashford across he ran through the middle and he punched it, and it was a magnificent goal. I think I got sore throat after that goal. I was so excited. I didn't believe that we are going to get anything, even score a goal. But this was a banger. This was an absolute banger. I think the only thing that's good, one of the rare things good about this United team is that we are scoring bangers, like Garnacho goal, bicycle kick, Dalot, from outside of the box, and we are doing this, and it was. I thought that this is how we set up, and I think this was our plan, and I thought that it worked brilliantly in that moment.
How do you plan a goal like that? I think that goal's fantastic. But I can see where you're coming from, because when you said earlier Bruno held the ball, he did. He was up against Diaz. He used his body to screen the ball. He held it up well, held his run. Onana with a lovely, great distribution, obviously from the back, held off Diaz when I felt maybe a Rashford would have given the ball away in that sort of situation, and then set man up, rolled in Rashford to score this scorcher. And I love this photo here. You can see Rodri's turned his back. McTominay's keeping his eye on the ball, thinking, wow, 72 miles an hour. Rashford, look at that. Laces, feet off the ground. That's a perfect pose there for a fantastic strike into the roof of the net. Goal of the season for Man United this season, you reckon? Or is Garnacho still your favourite?
I mean, it was a great goal by Garnacho's against Everton. I think Garnacho's probably the best goal in the last 10 years, without a doubt. I mean,
okay.
you cannot replicate that. This is really, it is, an individual brilliance from Rashford, because we know that he's, capable of, doing this. He did it, and especially against City. And this was his 6th goal against City, which was, he has great, how do you say, stats against, big teams. And you know what? As much as I but as much as I criticize him this season, I thought that, oh my God, maybe we get a great Rashford this game.
But Dora, it's been like an interesting week for Rashford, obviously with his interview coming out and saying, I'm fully committed. I'm a Man United guy. I don't really take the criticism, but I don't deserve it, basically saying there. When you look at it, is he really that clutch? Is he up there like borderline world class with obviously he's set up today with a goal in a clutch match, but when you look at his stats here, against the Big Six. He scored 6 against City, 6 against Arsenal, 6 against Chelsea, 6 against Liverpool, and 6 against Spurs. Is he a big game player? Clutch, Mr. Clutch? Are we sort of be doing him a disservice in a way by criticising too much, or just do we expect too much from him all the time? What are your thoughts? I mean, it's easy to say this after the game, but what are you thinking? Look at his data. I mean, that's great. Top scoring against the Big Six clubs like that, regular.
Yeah, I think that people were. I remember last season people are saying that he is on par with Kylian Mbappe. Uh, I absolutely disagree. I think on a purple patch, he is probably one of the best wingers in the world. I'm not disputing that. However, he's not consistent enough to be world class in today's game, because one season he has amazing stats, but his performances aren't great. The other season, he's not good at all. And the third season, he is, putting insane performances and insane stats. And I love him. Like, he is an academy lad. I don't think he's he seems like a good good person, or like I can't judge, right? I don't know him, but he seems okay. And and his story with how he broke out in Manchester United, with playing against the likes of Arsenal, and then he scored in every debut for Manchester United, in the Europa League, in the Premier League, in the cup game. Like, he has that. But I think what really went goes against him sometimes is that he's just not sometimes, but he's just not consistent enough. He doesn't how do you say it, he doesn't do it enough for me. Like, I'm seeing this stats against Big Six and I'm impressed, because and I think that when we played against these teams, they're open at the back, and of course with his pace, and I think he's clutch in that regard. However, I don't think that sometimes in most cases, especially with United in the last 3, 4, 5 seasons, is that even when one player is having an insane game, the rest of the team is not really good enough. And I think if you incorporate everything, I think everything is right. I mean, sometimes we criticize him too hard. I don't think the fan base is criticizing him this hard this season, because he's been absolutely poor. And you know what? If PSG comes in and said, you know what, sell him, I would sell him, because he's been here since 2015, 2016. And, he doesn't seem to me like a complete player. And I think that he's just doing some things really well, and like, I haven't seen a good pass from him in years.
You know
And
what? You
that's
say
my
something
issue.
key. Say something key there about inconsistency. That's the thing.
Inconsistency, yeah.
He can be great 1 minute, and then the next minute he can be poor. Like Andrew Williams said here, he scored him a 5. He said scored a world-class goal, and then did 0. So, and there's other issues I got with him later on in the game, which we will come on to. But let's go through a few comments here, guys. So Rashford scored again, a lovely worldie from him. And Onana's getting a 5. We're scoring later, but Onana's gets a 5. Outstanding saves. We're going to come on to that in a minute. I can't think of any other takeover where they don't get their own guys. So talking about the manager should be gone. That's Bill Baggio. Andrew saying, I think the Premier League is too much Ten Hag. We were shite last season. Good for a few weeks only this season, and we've gone backwards. How do we progress under him? I can't trust him. So still after today, he can't be trusted. So a few performances there from Andrew Williams. Dalot and Mainu were class. Casemiro looks done for me as a top player, says Bill Baggio as well. And Varane was good. And Garnacho is knackered, says Andrew Williams. So just moving on, we talk about our goalkeeper in the first half. This was a great save from Rodri. He had sort of a leap, really stretched to sort of see this one out. He kind of blindsided as well. Good save. I thought he made a couple of saves from Phil Foden as well, but on his feet, and commanded his area. A couple of corners came out, commanded his area really well. And obviously he had an assist for the goal. So look, Onana, I thought was pretty decent in the first half. And he deserves his plaudits. We're quick to criticize him when he makes mistakes, and we have done. But do you agree with me that he had a good game for the first half with this, especially this save here?
I think he was our best player in the first half, without a doubt. I thought that this was his best performance in United shirt this season. And I know some people are going to say, "Oh, it's saying, it not he didn't have insane performances this season too, But this first half was really good from him. His distribution was good. I mean, he assisted for the goal. I thought that he's the fan base criticizes him for his shot stopping. I thought that he shot stopped really well. I know people are saying, "Oh, most of the keepers are going to save it," but you know what? I thought that in that category, he showed that he can do it. So kudos to him. I thought that as you said, Mamondi, he commanded his box really well. I never saw him being so assertive and confident in the air whenever the crosses came in, and it was such a good half from him. Uh, but yeah, I mean, I agree with everything you said. I thought that he was a man of the match for me in that first half.
Yeah, definitely in the first half. Colm, how you doing, man? He said this is what happens when players are running to the ground and the manager doesn't know anything about game management. So disappointment from Colm. He's just saying about we've sort of exhausted players out there. He did well coming out for a few saves, as Andrew Williams talking about the goalkeeper, and he was decent, but 5 is a bit harsh. I'll give you that, but I expected the second goal to be saved. We'll come on to that very soon. So obviously we're 1-0 up. What a great goal by Rashford. Then Onana's under siege. He makes this beautiful save here from Rodri. He kept us in the game. And then Diaz, there was a slip by Diaz, and Bruno played in Rashford. But he miscontrolled the ball because Walker was chasing him down. I'm just going to say this now. I'm going to make this statement. He scored a great goal, but he had opportunities in the first half. And when Walker, obviously with pace, when Walker, he got played in. It was him and the goalkeeper. All he had to do was head the ball ahead of him and keep driving forward and just get in front of Walker. Walker you probably could hear him breathing him down, but his header was poor and he didn't really continue with the ball. That was really frustrating. Getting in on goal there could have been 2-0, and Rashford would have been a hero right now. We could be talking about him, save Rashford, and we love Rashford. He had an opportunity there for me, and I think he bottled it. I'm not being disrespectful, but I think because Rashford's known for his pace and Walker is a beast, he always says no one can beat him. And I've heard him say he'd deal with Thierry Henry for pace as well. I think Walker would have caught him, and Rashford knows that. And that's why he messed up. In the back of his mind, he thought, Walker's on my case. Rather than heading it forward and going in on goal, he fucked it completely. Do you agree with me? Because I'm being a bit harsh. I feel.
You're not harsh. I thought that after that, he did it so many times this game. I know that we weren't that much in possession, but anytime, he had a chance to actually, run in his space, or, he, like you said, if he heads that really well, if he controls that properly, like he did it at first, he controlled it properly, but as you said, he wasn't, assertive enough, and to actually, go and be 1-1. And I thought, like, if he was, in front of Ederson alone, he would score that.
Yeah.
And of course, that first half would be a perfect game plan, because we cannot play anything else. We cannot play expansive, open at the back, attacking football. This would be a perfect executed game plan. And I thought as well, he bottled it. And you know what? This is what makes a player world class and good. And to me, he shows in this situation that, especially this season, that maybe he was, potentially world class, but he cannot be, because he's holding himself back in Omondi. I mean, we talked about it so many times on this channel. He just holds himself back, and I think it will be, it will affect his career and legacy, I would say.
In a situation like that, you've got away from the defender. You've been played in. You're in like from the halfway. You're in on goal. He knows he's thinking about Walker more than getting on goal. So what he should do, I feel, is like play the ball or run in front of Walker, so Walker has to come around him. But he's not even thinking like that. Just get your header right. It's easy. I can't see how you messed it up. Get your header right and keep with your run. And if Walker's trying to come around you, draw a foul. He can get a man sent off there. I felt I was just so disappointed with that moment. That was a key moment for me in the game. We were 1-0 up. He's got opportunity to get on goal, and it doesn't work out for him. No. And then later, Onana made another save from Foden with his feet. So by now, in the first half, this is after like 22 minutes. What a great 20, 30 minutes it was in the first half. Then Onana makes another save from a rebound shot from Rodri. That's the save I put up there. But what got me, so we already talked about Rashford chance. After that, Bruno played in from the left, a diagonal ball. McTominay made his trademark run into the box, and Rashford was behind him. McTominay missed the header, and it went to Rashford, and he fluffed it again, kind of at the back post. That was another opportunity I felt that we needed to be really clutch for. I just want to go back to a comment here when we're discussing this about, it comes from Andrew Williams. He said something along the lines that Rashford is more instinct than thing. So when he has, here he goes. This is, I totally agree. He had time to think. The goal he scored was instinct. So the two other opportunities, running in on goal with Kyle Walker behind him, and the ball played from diagonal ball from Bruno, played from left, which missed McTominay and went to Rashford. He kind of fluffed it, which is disappointing again. And that could have been, that's two opportunities to go 2-0 up and really seal the game.
I totally agree. I agree with Andrew. I always felt that he is the best when he's playing with these things and when he doesn't have to think that much. And we saw that from the first season that he, debuted. First 2 seasons, he always played with instincts. The moment he had to think, he would always fluff it. And I think that is one of his biggest weaknesses. That's hence why he's not consistent with his passing. He's not consistent with how, to move. He doesn't know how to play, as an attacker. I totally agree with Andrew on that point.
Well done, Andrew. I mean, we agree with that. All right, because this is the thing. You get punished if you don't finish your dinner against top sides like this and give yourself a couple of goal advantage. We saw the result. We saw what happened. And in the first half, I mean, obviously we were gone in 1-0, but at the end of the first half, this happened. Nadora, what's going on here? The ball was played to Foden. He's headed it across the corridor of uncertainty, and Haaland's there with just a goal at his mercy.
God. I mean, we found out that Haaland is actually a human. No, but I mean, an awful miss. I think every striker has one of those or few of those in their careers. It was shocking to see that. I mean, it reminded me of Fernando Torres against us when Chelsea played. Remember that, he's alone in front of the guy and he fluffs it. I think this is worse, actually. I think this is worse because he's actually in front of the goal. He's actually in front of the goal and he did. Like, I remember one game in the Croatian League when 15 years ago, I think Dinamo Zagreb played my local club, Cibalia, and one guy, the ball, I think it became viral when YouTube started. Like, we still have a YouTube video online. The ball was on the goal line, and the guy had a foot on it, and he didn't score.
What?
I mean, it is probably the worst miss that I saw in football, but this is quite close. And people are saying, "Oh, he miscontrolled it." Of course, it happens, right? But we found that he was human. And to be quite honest with you, Omondi, like, he didn't have a good game, in my opinion. He didn't have a good game. I thought that Varane and Evans were doing a really good job against him, especially in the first half. I think this is the only moment where our defense kind of let him go. I thought that Lindelof didn't properly block Foden in this instance, and I think Evans and Varane were just too far away from Haaland to stop him from jumping that high or to be alone. No one was in front of him. The guy is a freak of nature, of course. He's always faster and he jumps higher than everyone else. But I thought that throughout the most of the game, I think our defenders dealt with him, quite well. So, but I mean, this is an insane miss from Haaland.
I mean, he's done all the hard work to get in a position to score. And it wasn't at his chest. It was just like on around his belly button. And he tried to stick the leg up. And he just got to bring it down. And I thought he could have headed it. But when I saw the ball again, it was sort of a bit lower than that. But Varane done enough there. He's got his hands on him a little bit. But Evans is out of position there, thinking, oh, no, they scored. Onana's looking on like, no, he's definitely scoring this. But like you said.
I think Onana afterwards was like this. He had hands on his head. Like, he couldn't believe what happened. So yeah.
Don't you want me, baby? He doesn't want goals. Human league. This is the human league, not for robots anymore. And
Yeah.
yeah, welcome back down to earth, Mr. Haaland. So halftime, 1-0 Man United. Yeah, Andrew saying he was quiet. So was KDB, two of their top players. I mean, what's his name? He scored 5 goals, didn't he, midweek, our Haaland? So
Yeah.
coming into the game, we done a little profile of him, thinking, oh gosh, his record is outstanding. I mean, he's got to be one of the top strikers in world football. But I just want to say at halftime, it was magnificent. They had the game, but we had, as we said, we scored a goal. We had 2 good chances after that as well, where we hurt them. And to come in 1-0, I was a bit deflated and disappointed because I think it should have been 2, maybe 3. And I just knew, don't you? You just know that Pep's going to go in there, make some adjustments, and really put it on us in the second half. Ain't that
Yeah.
right?
I agree. I thought it was a perfect game plan for this game. And I know, but as you said, like we could have had more goals. We could have had more attempts on goal in that first half. I thought that the players bottled it, especially in the attack. I thought that all of the, like, I think overall the team was cohesive.
Yeah.
With Onana being the man of the match. However, I felt that Garnacho was really quiet. I don't think he had a good game. I thought that every single ball that came to him, just it would go away from him. He couldn't control anything. His passing was poor as well. I thought the Casemiro was poor as well, especially when in possession, because every time Onana would step out of his goal. The ball would come to Casemiro and he would lose the ball. And then, remember that Foden chance in the first half, it was all on Casemiro. It was all on Casemiro. In my opinion, he lost the ball and they were on the counter. The guy almost scored a goal if it wasn't for Onana, who came back on time. And, but I thought that overall, I think Ten Hag realized that he cannot gamble. He cannot go with, we are trying to attack, we are going to use our possession, whatever. He realized that this team cannot hold a possession against this organized, this good of a team. And I think he parked the bus. He parked the bus and tried to catch them on the counter, and I thought that was a really good adaptation from him. So overall, I thought that first half, besides some few of individuals, and even like you said, Omondi, like Rashford would have scored 2 more, but in the end it didn't happen. But overall, I was happy with first half, honestly.
Just want to give, we're going to come on to the goals, but Andrew saying Foden and Bernardo were the guys that hurt us. Top quality players. Best game I've seen Foden play is Bill Badger. And Foden's always trying things. He's superb. And do you want to say happy birthday? Everyone in the comments as well. Let's say happy birthday to the wonderful Mr. B. Mr. B,
happy birthday.
It's you. I know you're going to live watch along as well, but
yeah,
what about you, Mr. B? We love you. We're grateful for you and wishing you a great day with the family, whatever you're up to. Go and enjoy yourself. Put your feet up and do what you do best, which is I just say I respect people, who I look up to, and I look up to Mr. B, not in height, naturally, because he's a bit shorter than me, but I look up to him because I like people in this day and age. I like people who are family orientated, and he's a great father and a great man. I give him that, and I've strived to be as good as father as you, Mr. B. So respect.
That's really nice.
Anyway, moving on. So in the second half, we've obviously come out. We're 1-0 up. It's going to be back to the wall naturally. They're better team, really. But I want to give Bruno some credit because even though he's playing a higher position, he came back in and gave us some composure. You could see him physically, animated, talking to all the players. We had a bit of possession around the 50th minute where we kept the ball for a good 3-4 minutes, which you say, 3-4 minutes, nothing that. But I felt under the circumstances, that was a good passage of play to give us a bit more time and relaxation on the ball and not make us panic so much. Respect to Bruno for that.
Yeah,
I think he instigated that initially. Now let's talk about the goal because before that, McTominay, he broke and he frees up Rashford. Now Rashford is running in on goal almost, and he had Walker on his back again. Now this is the same situation we had in the first half, and Walker sort of came round. Walker, it's a physical game, kind of touched his arm or touched his back, and Rashford decides to go down. And then Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
I was like he dived, but he didn't. He was clipped a bit. However, I thought that he was soft. I think that they are running really fast. I actually looked back at the slow motion. He did clip him. Like held him a bit, but in my opinion, it wasn't enough for a foul. I know Manchester United fans are all. I saw already that people are saying, "Oh my God!" But what about that soft foul on Ake for the free kick? I agree. I think the ref was a bit, iffy. I don't know. I thought like this is my problem with the players, right? Uh, Not every time a ref is going to go into your favor. Like this is a Manchester derby. This is one of the biggest derbies in England or in Great Britain or however you want to, rate or rate it or whatever. I think that he should have continued running. He
thank
should
you.
have.
That's what I was
I
going to
think
ask you, Dora. That's exactly what I was
he
going to ask
should
you.
run.
In this position here, he's got control of the ball. He's getting there first.
He
Okay.
fell.
And
He
where's the
fell.
goal? The goal's
Yeah,
ahead of him.
yeah. Yeah,
So
as you said, like in the first half, if he continues to run, he's alone in front of others, and Kyle Walker, who like he is faster than Walker here, and if he is faster than Walker, needs to do something to stop him,
yeah,
and then he is, how do you say it? Then Walker needs to commit if he's dumb enough, to commit a foul there, try to dispossess him in the last second. I think he gets a red, and then we have,
yeah,
a whole other situation, right?
damn
But I
right.
thought he was too soft here. People are saying, "Oh, he got clipped." Yes, I saw it as well a bit, but on Monday, that's not. You don't fall immediately and wave your hands at the ref. You need to continue to run. Like not everyone is going to give you that. Not everyone is going to give you that. I thought it was soft. I was really mad at him. And then on the other side, you see, people running bad. I saw immediately people are, Bruno is already protesting to the ref. Like I'm seeing Foden and the rest of the City players running back to attack us. Lindelof is trying to, like, he knows that Foden is right-footed, but of course, Foden is one of those players that can play with both feet. He goes on his left and he scores a banger. Like that was an insane goal. I don't think Onana could,
But here's the thing,
could have done
Dora.
anything.
Dora, this is my thing. I put my title here: City's first goal. It starts from here, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Rashford, you said, I mean, we asked you the question, Dora, and you agreed Rashford should not be going down here. He's
Yeah.
in a situation here we could be scoring to go 2-0 up.
Yeah.
Seconds later, because he's gone to the ground, because the manager's now got booked as well for protesting about this, it wasn't a foul. It wasn't a foul. He would be a foul if he got his whole body in front of the ball and drove forward. But he knew.
Yeah.
He knew. This is what I'm saying about. I'm not calling him a coward. I'm not calling him a bottle job. But
Yeah.
he knew that Walker was there, and if he would have tried to run on, he would have outpaced him maybe. But this is where you got to use your intelligence, get your body in front of the ball, and then make it the referee serious question marks, because that's your last man. That's a red card offence.
Yeah, I agree.
He's thinking, I'm going to take the easy way out, wait for a touch, because I can't feel, I'm sprinting at full pace right now. If I go again and push, he might just eat me up. That's why I feel that he knows Walker so well that he knows that the guy was probably going to catch him and eat him up, make him look silly in a way. So I'm disappointed there. That was a great situation for us.
Yeah, and you know what? I thought that he is like people are saying, "Oh, Lindelof should have blocked it better." This is Rashford's goal. That's on his back, because if he, as you said on Monday, if he continues to run, there is a chance that Walker, fouls him. That's a red. This isn't enough for a ref to, whistle or something. That's not it. I'm sorry. He's done it so many times, especially in the last 2-3 seasons. And and this is about fine margins, right? This is why I cannot say this is why I cannot say that he's world class, because there are these situations where he's holding himself back because he's doing this stuff. You need to do better. Like I'm seeing Luka Modric with 39 years on his back. Every time, he's not flopping on the floor. He's not, falling on the floor. He continues to run. And I think he should learn something from other players, because that's not going to, like, you cannot do do that, especially in the Manchester derby. And I was so pissed at him,
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
awful.
So what's
Awful.
happened here? Because obviously, so this has disrupted our whole shape. We've had a break. This is what we're trying to do. We've achieved it 3 times. We scored the first goal 3 times after that. We had great opportunities from these situations to exploit them on the break. But when we haven't got the ball, we need to get back. And as we look on our formation here, Bruno would be where Rashford is normally, because so Bruno was playing down the middle. Rashford was playing down the left to support Lindelof. So they were struggling to break us down, support Lindelof and double up on Phil Foden. Because he's decided now to go down, we're in a situation, he stayed down as well because he wanted to milk it. We're in a situation now where he's out of position. Sorry, I think I might have the wrong goal here. Let me just go back. Sorry. We're in this situation here where...
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Look at him. Yeah.
Yeah, so Rashford's gone down higher up the pitch. We're usually doubling up. In the first half, we were nice and cool. 2 lines of 4, break us down. Rashford would be, as you can see, you can imagine where Rashford would be in between Phil Foden and Lindelof. He'd be in and around there, sniffing around, blocking them up. Because Rashford's down now, complaining, this is what the situation we're in. Now, Rashford is trying to get back, but is he getting back fast enough? I don't think so. So, in this situation, Lindelof's isolated. We didn't want this situation at all against a top player like Phil Foden. And let me move this on a little bit. Suddenly, can you see Rashford, anyone? Let's spot the ball. You can spot the ball going there. Can you see Rashford getting back, anyone?
He's on the edge of on the screen.
You see his leg on the screen walking back. Now, let's take this back a bit. There, you're walking back, complaining about getting a penalty, a red card or whatever, being fouled earlier on. Sprint back, and we can maybe save this situation. But no, you're crawling back, and by the time, so Phil Foden hasn't even got the ball yet. It's played to him. He's thinking, play it now. I've got a 1-on-1 situation. I can drive at Lindelof. He gets the ball, drives infield, and Rashford is still miles away.
I'm
disappointed with that.
Yeah, of course. And the mentality shifted after that. Our guys, you could already see that whole, playing with everyone behind the ball, chasing the game, chasing the City players all over the pitch is taking a toll on the players. They are knackered, right? They are already feeling the fatigue. But now all of the work that they did in the first 55 minutes is gone because one player decided, I need to fold here. Like, as you said on Monday, if he is the hero, Foden doesn't have a chance to drive or to attack our defense on that side, because he cannot have Lindelof 1-on-1. I think, as you said, like I think that, and as I said in the beginning, I thought that this is a goal on Rashford. If he doesn't do that, I don't think they score. And I think mentality shifted after that. I thought that the whole team, I think the team spirit kind of has fallen apart, and I think the energy, like it kind of, they smelled the blood in the water. City after that, they realized, what, we have them, and the rest is history.
Dora, the longer we keep them at 1-0, the crowd will get on their back. They get frustrated. Trying to force them. But we gave them a gift by giving them a 1-on-1 situation, which they didn't have throughout the whole game, from discipline. The discipline was gone as soon as Rashford decided to claim something that he wasn't going to get. And then rather than get back into shape, he's decided to walk back, in my opinion, and leave us in a situation like this where Lindelof you can't expect Lindelof to do much about this 1-on-1 situation, which he's been dying for, and obviously he gets the ball. But once again, guys, can you see Rashford's foot getting back on screen as the goal goes in? And this is the guy who should have been in and around there to stop this from going in. So I'm really disappointed there. I'm not blaming him completely, but he just needs to change his attitude. Couple comments here. We're saying get rid of Rashford. That's what they're saying in the comments. Matty's in the house. I'd sell him for 80 million to PSG. He's saying Rashford does tend to go down to way too easy, says Andrew Williams. How much would we get for him? We said 80 million or something like that. But yeah, disappointed. a couple more. It's true. Says Andrew, he agrees with that. And Bill Baggio saying, that's why I was calling for Anthony. But when Anthony came on, we put him on the right, but he would have been more useful on the left in that situation to double up on the danger man. Big up to Rajat. He's saying hello to the panel. Very hard to beat Man City, for sure. And big up to Aziz. He said Manchester's blue. Okay, that's true. That's true. They're dominating right now. We have to give them respect. And he plays for himself, not the team, man. That's Rajat talking about Rashford. Did he start Garnacho? Yeah, Garnacho did start. All right. So obviously with 2, it's gone 1-1 now. And now we're thinking what's going to go on now. So here we go. I just want to say something. The manager made a sub, Dora, and he brought on the young boy centre-back and played him at right-back. And put Lindelof and Varane in the centre, and then Dallos went from right back to left back. So here's Phil Foden. In the first image there, he's played a 1-2 in behind Casemiro, and because he knows Alvarez is free. Now, I think the fullback here should be closer. There's no point going out wide. That's the channel. It's between the fullback and the centre-back there. There's no need for him to create a gap like that. He should be inside of Alvarez, in my opinion.
Yeah.
He's completely the wrong side. So that leaves Varane with the responsibility to go over there when it should be the fullback's duty. And obviously, Phil Foden spun off Casemiro and got the return. And because Casemiro and because Varane's had to go over, he just popped it around him and played him in. Just talk to me about this. Do you see the same as me with the defensive shape, how he should be set up there?
Yeah, I thought that they had too much space, as you said on Monday. I thought that the moment, like, look at Casemiro as well. Once again, like, I like the guy. Like, I always thought that he was a great player. However, in this situation, his pace is just so bad. Like, he does 1-2 with, what's his face? Alvarez. Foden, right? Casemiro attacks Foden, who already released the ball, and now Foden is running into space because Varane needs to commit to Alvarez as well, because Kampala isn't doing closing up the channel, or he isn't next to his player, and Casemiro is not good enough. He is too slow. Like, if you look at I'm looking at the real time, right? He commits to Foden. Foden immediately, after he releases the ball to Alvarez, who is all alone, by the way, he immediately runs into space. There is a hole, like, you could see a hole, a black hole in the middle of our box. I mean, I could have scored there on Monday.
Yeah.
I could have scored there. And, Lindelof needs to, take care of Haaland. But of course, he also needs to go into the block because no one is, covering for this guy. Varane and Casemiro are trying to catch up. They are too slow because, the guy is already there, and he shots. And, Onana, a bit of a poor reaction, in my opinion. I thought he should have done a bit better on that goal. However, I'm not going to solely blame him for in this instance, because the defense has been absolutely poor, and I firstly blame Casemiro here. Casemiro and the youngster, because like, I cannot blame the youth all the time, because first of all, this isn't his natural position. Kambala is a center back. This is his second or third game for the club. Like, he was too far from Alvarez, okay, but Casemiro needs to do better there. He need I know he's
Dora,
not fast. Yeah.
Dora, I wasn't thinking Casemiro. I think sometimes you get a 1-2 played around you. Casemiro's thinking he's got defenders behind him. But are you saying Casemiro should go with the man? Because look, in the second clip, you see he's lost his man completely. He's ball watching.
I mean, he's not good enough for Monday. He cannot catch up. In the perfect world, right? Like, I could have done that. Like, the biggest world-class players could have, just make a mistake there. However, I thought that he committed too hard, and if he commits that, like, he needs to time it better.
Yeah,
he needs to time it better. He should have been there to block that pass to Alvarez, but he is too late. Foden releases the ball.
Let's break this down. First, I only had two thoughts here, really. So the first thing was that in the first photo, he's played a 1-2 into an area where I felt the fullback should be the Casemiro's side, or inside of Alvarez. That way, Alvarez doesn't have time to play a return pass. So I look where the starting position of the fullback there. So for me, the fullback initially is at fault, and obviously Casemiro has to cover his mistake by coming over, which in turn leaves a wide gap for Phil Foden to run into. Which I do agree with you. Casemiro should have tracked him. That was the most important thing. As soon as he plays it around you and goes, you've got to track that runner because you can't sort of pass him off in that sort of situation.
But I mean, I totally agree. And people are going to say, "Oh, you're too harsh." But I mean, I've seen this from Casemiro too many times this season. When we are in defending, he commits too hard, and when he mistimes his tackle or mistime his how do you say it, a block or whatever, he cannot run with the opposing players because he's too slow. He's too slow, and that's unfortunate. Like, in the perfect world, he stays there, he covers the channel, Alvarez gets the ball, but Casemiro tries to stay in front of Foden, and he blocks that pass. And the City attack falls apart. And I thought it's easy. Like, I agree, Amonte. Kampala here should have been closer, but in this situation, I need to put more blame on the senior players, because this guy has been world class last season. He has 5 Champions League. Like, this guy Kampala is playing his third game for us in his United career. But overall, I thought that if one player fails his block, mistimes it, I think everything falls apart, and I think in this instance that happened, unfortunately.
So the channel's wide open. That's an issue.
Yeah.
Kambala should have been inside, and Casemiro should have gone inside. And then there's no issues there. There'd be no problem. It's a simple 1-2, and we've been opened up. It reminds me of the Tottenham when Tottenham scored against us early in the season, similar like that. All right, so it's 2-0. Let's go to the third and final goal. And once again, I think this could have been prevented. Talk to me through this one.
I mean, what to say, Omonte? What to say? Like, do I have to say it? I mean,
you have to spell it out. Come on.
Like, I mean, he's truly a Shetland pony, and he's only good for being in a circus, Amrabat. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I had high hopes for this guy. I thought that he's going to save our midfield after Mount got injured and everything else. He's been he has been atrocious on Monday. Like, in this situation, like, I don't know what happened. Like, I mean, you watch this guy, we watched this guy before he came into the team, at Fiorentina, at Morocco, at whatever. His passing was always solid. Like, it wasn't world class. I never thought that he was world class, but I always thought, okay, he has a solid pass in him. And of course, this season, especially since he came in, he's been doing fatal mistakes. Yeah. Especially when we try to build up from anything. Like, we are trying to build from the back here, right? Onana had the ball. It came from, what's his face, Casemiro. He passes it to Amrabat, who has all the time in the world. Like, turn around. Look around yourself.
The bottom image there, Dora, the bottom image, he's picked up the ball. That's his first touch.
His first touch, okay.
What should he do in that situation?
Either give it to Casemiro, who would immediately release the ball to Bruno or McTominay, or maybe gamble a bit and go parallel with Victor Lindelof. I mean, or that's Varane, not Lindelof, sorry. So he has 1, 2, 3 options, 1, 2, 3 options at least to do. But what did he do? Sorry, I need to.
Well, as you talk, yeah. So obviously, I've got a picture of him. If you look at the top image, ball's played into him with time.
I'm watching it actually. Yeah.
He's got his back with someone on his back. In this situation, you position you're playing in. He usually plays in that deep line midfield role. You need to be able to pick up the ball and scan and understand what's going on around you. His first touch is atrocious, and I think I've got a good touch, and that's something I stand by it. But this guy is a professional footballer, and he gets a pass. It's not pinged into him, but he doesn't read the situation, and he loses the ball in that situation there, which is disappointing. You've seen it now, Dora. Give us an update.
So I'm actually watching it real time, guys. So bear with me. So Onana has Haaland and De Bruyne in front of him. So what he does, he passes it to Casemiro, who offers himself here in the first. What's the picture above the picture above? Casemiro offers himself as a, I would say, fullback, but he offers himself there for a pass. He's attacked by Foden and or no,
Rodri.
no, it doesn't matter. It's Rodri and De Bruyne, two City players that is attacking him. He plays a bit of a shady ball here. So he goes and he sees, like, he feels, okay, I cannot do the on the ground pass. I need to loft it a bit. So he lofted it a bit. He lobbed it a bit. But it doesn't matter. I agree with you, Monty. A professional footballer should have a good first touch. Amrabat takes the first touch awfully, awfully. Casemiro and him kind of get over each other because Casemiro is trying to. He sees that this guy got his first touch wasn't good. The ball is running away from him. He's trying to take it off him to start the attack or something. But of course, Rodri is there. He possesses him. He gives it to Haaland, who is all alone in front of Onana, and a great finish by with left foot. So you could argue, oh, it's blah, 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 Casemiro, blah, blah. I thought that Casemiro, you know, maybe people are going to say, oh, maybe he should have, tried to, flanked it in the row Z. But
Yeah.
in this situation, when he's been attacked by two City players, he does the thing. He loves it. He loves it above those two players. He gives it to Amrabat, who doesn't have a good touch. And when Casemiro sees that Amrabat doesn't have a good touch, he tries to dispossess him and get rid of the ball. But of course, this guy, just send him to Italy. Please send him back. Like, I cannot stand these players. And I don't know what happened to him. People are saying, oh, he had the lack of the preseason. He was injured. Blah blah. I'm sorry. It's 3rd of March. He had time. He had time to actually
Wow.
get into the fitness. So I'm sorry. This was so poor.
Do you guys
It was
agree?
so poor.
Most certainly, your first touch has to be good there. I'm blaming Amrabat for that. We had to point fingers because look, what disappoints me. You set up all week to make yourself difficult to beat. We've done it in the first half, but we didn't do the other side of the game where we put away our chances. We had 3 or 4 chances to score good, valid goals, but Rashford
Yeah.
let us down. Rashford goes down for one of the goals, doesn't get back into position. They got an opportunity for one-on-one situation. They score. The second goal. Similar 1-2 through Casemiro. The new fullback comes on the pitch, is out of position, doesn't protect the channel, and they score another goal. And then here it's just more of a gift once again. Go on, Dora.
Also, I want to. Bart is a serious fan. Made a good point. I thought that the players were knackered after 50 minutes, even after the halftime and 15-minute break. The players were knackered, and that is because we played that kind of football, right? We were defending with everyone behind the ball, and we had to chase the ball from City players non-stop. We were trying to catch them on the counter attack, right? But as he says, I thought that that we were knackered, and I don't think that Ten Hag adapted to that. And you could see that Guardiola made some changes as well. Foden started going in the midfield more. He's a natural winger. His best games were from the middle of the pitch. And when you see that the guy is trying to be direct through the midfield, from the midfield, you could see how big of a quality he is. That first goal from that right side has been world class, but the other goal was clearly made from the midfield, and he is always the best there. I thought that people are going to say, "Oh, kudos to him." I gave kudos to Ten Hag, especially for that first half. But I felt that when he saw that the energy was getting worse and worse and worse, he should have made the changes more quicker and set up the players more. Maybe put someone else in that midfield to control it a bit. Maybe sacrifice that. How do you say it? Sacrifice the one of the wingers. I thought Garnacho was invisible. Why not sacrifice him? Or he took off Rashford, which despite him being poor and bottling a few chances, I thought that he was our most dangerous outfield player of the most.
Yeah.
Garnacho was invisible. Why not try with Anthony and Rashford there?
Yeah.
So it was like, I know I'm pulling it out. Like, I thought Ten Hag in particular did a good job, but you could see that the lack of, as Bart said, lack of we obviously weren't prepared for this season. We weren't prepared because we see so many injuries. We saw so many fitness issues. Then again, we are prepping for this game. The players cannot do the game plan for 50 minutes. That's an issue.
Yeah,
That's an
it's been said
issue.
before, or it's been said before, most doubt about it. I want to say hi to Sigmund. How you doing? Long time no see. Where have you been? You turning up on a day of defeat. He's saying, who would buy Rashford for 80 million? I'm not sure Man United would get that kind of money for him, if I'm honest. We are ripping him a bit today, but we're just breaking him, not intentionally. He's done what he did on the pitch, and I'm disappointed. Big up Pat in VA. He says Laurie Whitwell, was reporting Rashford was carrying a hip injury. Can't argue with your points though. Yeah, we're just breaking it down as we see it. City fan Aziz says Jose should come in for Zidane. Also, Jose should come in or Zidane, or maybe Klopp next season. Greenwood is doing well in the league and will come back. He's saying there. Nottingham Forest might take Rashford, said Rajat. It's quite interesting to note that Harry Amas, I watched this game, scored a goal from left back in the same weekend as United don't have a senior fit left back. I just want to say this guy is tremendous. I watched, they beat, it was a semi-final of the Premier League Cup for the under-18s. Harry Amas scored a brilliant goal, set up a goal as well. He was raiding down the left, really good, beautiful play. Sometimes balls were being sprayed over to him. His control, first touch, his delivery, and scored a brilliant goal. Beat Crystal Palace, who are a great, talented team under 18 level, beat them 5-0 to get to the final. So that's the left back. That's for the one for the future, no doubt about it. Bart saying here, Casemiro has declined physically, as you were saying there, since the end of last season. Amrabat isn't the presence United need in the middle. Mainu can't do it all alone. Send this useless turd back to Italy, talking about Amrabat. That's from Bill Baggio. Matty saying here, I'd keep Eric Ten Hag for another full season, remembering back to Sir Alex Ferguson's situation. Bad result today, but seems to be a lot of players' errors. Great analysis by the Man United agenda. Can I just say, it is, I'm not putting on the manager today. We're trying to point out to you, Rashford went down, one goal was conceded because he didn't get back in shape. Nothing to do with the manager there. The second goal, a 1-2 played around Casemiro, the right back, who's a centre back, has come on the pitch. He's not protecting the channel. That creates a space for them to get the 1-2. And the third goal is Amrabat. I don't see where the manager is taking any fault for that. So I agree with you. And,
I want to clarify. I'm not blaming Ten Hag as well. I think the club is at fault because they didn't prep the team well. We don't have a good squad. We are having players that are just, flopping in the team. I think today we set up well, but you could see that issues from the whole season came down to this game. The lack of fitness, the lack of everything. I blame the whole club for this. I'm not blaming the manager here, and the players, of course, who have been absolutely disgraceful, some of them. So I agree with that notion.
But to be fair, even on our best day, we'd struggle to beat the City side.
Yeah.
Double A saying here, Ten Hag actually had the setup spot on, but the second half, in-game management and personnel changes messed up the game plan. So yeah, it could be true because the playing, taking Evans off. I thought Evans played pretty well. That's
he was dead on his feet. He couldn't continue.
Yeah, he was, wasn't he? Bar Haaland, Ten Hag hasn't made a solid signing. Says Bill Baggio. That could be argued about. But yeah, we're going to quickly just go through the player rating and see how you feel, guys. So obviously we've lost 3-1. We tried to break down the mistakes. Let's start with the back five with Onana in goal. And obviously we started like this, as we say here. We had Onana in goal, Dalot, Varane, Evans and Lindelof. And obviously the youngster came on to fill in the back. Just give us a rating of the defence and how they set up really well and their performance. If you could just do an individual rating as well. Punchy.
So I think that the defense overall, I would give it a 6. In the end, they conceded 3 goals, but I think individually, for example, Evans and Varane had a great game, in my opinion. Yeah. I thought that they cleared the lines really well. Onana was great. I think he was my man of the match in the first half. Later, I mean, he was solid. He even wasted time in the 60th minute,
Yeah,
and it was so funny.
a
Lind-
European thing. That's a European thing they do. We're not even
yeah,
over
yeah,
here.
yeah. Lindelof. I mean, people are like, I don't think he had necessarily an awful game. I thought he was okay against Foden in the end, at the end of the day. But I thought that his passing is absolutely shocking. I thought that he. I think his best attribute is actually passing, and he didn't do it well. But he's out of position. I would give it, a 5. Dalot, he tried to do something. He had some good, how do you say it, sequences in the first half, but he couldn't do anything about it. In my opinion, uh, he gets a 6 because after that he was transferred to the left back because Evans couldn't walk anymore on the pitch. He was knackered. He was tired. So yeah, I would give. I think overall, I would give the whole defense a 6.
So come to midfield, we've got Casemiro, McTominay, and Mainu with Bruno Fernandes playing as a false 9. Wide guys with Garnacho and Rashford. It looked like McTominay was sitting on Rodri or in and around him. What do you think of the rest of the players there? The other 5, 6 players here.
So midfield, I will be a bit harsher because I thought that 2 out of 3 goals it was on them. So I know Amrabat, it was an individual mistake, but he was a midfielder in that sequence, so he flopped it. I thought Casemiro was poor. Unfortunately, I thought he had good moments, but overall he was poor. Kobe Mainu was invisible, but I think he defensively did okay, especially in the first half as well. I would give it overall a 4. I think Amrabat and Casemiro are ruining their how do you say it? They're ruining the the number or the rating in the end. And McTominay, I thought thought that he did well. I thought that he could have been in a situation where if his teammates saw him actually running in the middle of the pitch, maybe if he got that ball, he would do something with it, maybe score a banger or something. But I mean, most of the game we played without the ball. I mean, we were chasing them, we were out of possession, so I would give it a 4. And I don't think I mean I even think I am a bit generous because some of them, like Amrabat, is a disgrace, and I know he was late in the game, but he is a midfielder and he was a disgrace.
I'm just going to show you 2 sides of the game here. This is one side of the game for the first City goal. Rashford goes down and then he's out of position. And then at the start of the game, this is the other side of Rashford. A beautiful goal. So, like you said, brilliantly at the start of the show, Dora, we want consistency. It's all right scoring a great goal, but your game's not over there. You've got to do the work for the sake of the team and get back into shape. That's the most important thing.
Yeah.
Disappointing. But we won't remember this because the result's poor. Great goal, but yeah, you're certainly going to maybe up your price tag. And hold on, shush. Making noise. Disappointed. Shush. I know. He's going to up his price tag for sure. Goals at that, but I just think at your age you got to do better than that and perform better. So I'm disappointed with Rashford. Not to be on his case, he's had a hard week, but there's the results. We want to see what happens on the pitch. Prove yourself in one sense by scoring a magnificent goal, but then later on in the game, you've gone down easily a couple of times with Walker, and they've gone on and scored because you didn't get back in shape. Is the way I see it. So
yeah,
we dropped points. Spurs won, Villa won. Top 4 is sort of drifting away from us, I think. Is it about the FA Cup now this season?
No. No way we get anything from this season. First of all, we are constantly, players are getting injured. We obviously don't have a good squad. I don't think Ten Hag is bar this game, which was okay for the most half from his side. I don't think he knows how to set up a team against other teams. Whenever we try to be more assertive on the ball, try to build up something from the back and possession, he doesn't change his ways, unfortunately. And yeah, I don't think we get it. I mean, if we get the Europa League, I would be surprised. Like, we will get Europa League probably. We will end up 6th or 7th. That's my prediction, unfortunately. I don't think we will get a top 4.
They call him Marcus Trashford, and UK Strange saying Marcus Fraudford. Look, man, it's all about opinions, football, isn't it? Football's all about opinions. City had more than 27 shots, and they had all the possession. We only had 26.
Yeah.
And obviously 11 points off top 4, thanks, Mr. B. So, yeah, it's not looking good. Big up to Zane. How you doing, man? Got the green Man United flag and green for go. And we didn't really get going today. Season over, says Mr. B. Ten Hag is a dead man walking as much as it hurts me.
It doesn't hurt me, in all honesty. He didn't show me that he should stay this season, especially that he should stay after this season. He's just poor. And I don't think... I mean, among we talked about it. Some of the players don't respect him at all. And do you think the club is going to get rid of Rashford in the summer? I don't think so.
Well, I think, look, if people analyse the game, it's mistakes, players' mistakes. We set up well, we proved we can match them and have a game plan, but the players let the manager down, in my opinion.
Yeah, so, today. And that is, for example, under Ole, he beat Pep 3 times.
Yeah.
You could feel that the players played for him. This squad doesn't respect him at all.
Exactly. Mark scored, then said, F it, I'm done my bits as UK Strange. And injuries, no excuse. Fulham had Paulino, William, Jimenez, and they still win. Yeah, there you go. All right, onwards, upwards. We try to claw back into the top 4 if we can, or fight for the FA Cup, which we've got Liverpool. God damn it. But that's enough from us. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. Dora, what's the plans for the rest of the day?
I don't know. I will see. Maybe watch some YouTube or something. I will probably avoid football a bit. I can't stand, especially after derbies, YouTube. So I will probably watch something.
Okay. Big up Tyrone Williams said Marcus Rashford is capable of scoring great goals once in a blue moon. Blue moon. Thank you very much. And finally, Jeff saying here, Mr. B, great watch along. It's his birthday, by the way, guys. So don't forget to say hi. Big up, happy birthday to Mr. B. Agreed, Ten Hag will be gone. And Lord knows who they will bring in. Amanda and Dora, everyone in the chat, have a great week. And you too, Jeff. Thank you so much.
Jeff. You too.
We will see you guys next week. With hopefully a better week for Man United. We've had a win and a loss. And we're out. Good night and God bless.